Well, we're inside today because it is still winter, and then added bonus of wet. So I'm nice and dry in my kind of warm room. Anyway, this video starts in I'm leaving San Antonio, heading back to Austin, then Baytown, then a show in Lafayette. But leaving San Antonio with a greater appreciation of conservation zoos, and with this cool balaclava that Ruby got me. Not baklava, which is a pastry that you can get around many parts of New York. My favorite is the chocolate because I have a fondness for sweet cakey stuff. Anyway, enjoy.
So mathematically, there's about a 92% chance that this U-Haul is a comic moving to Austin.
Oh. Get it, Lou. Get it, Lou.
Have you ever thrown a grenade? No. You gotta live. Oh no.
Lube. Yeah, more lube. We're having to replace that right there because I backed up over that, and luckily Ray and Bridget's neighbor Jared wrenches on stuff. Dab torch to the rescue.
Torch that. Yeah, just hold on there for a minute. Yeah,
all the way around there?
That's it. That's her.
That right there, that's not supposed to happen. One in there. Wrapped up with the car, and then, like I said, headed back to Baytown, where I had another present waiting for me from my friends Jimmy and Angie. The brake free light. And then my buddy Kevin had some guns that he wanted to put some rounds through.
Oh, this one's got an ambidextrous.
Oh, for you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just for me.
So we headed off to the gun range and popped off a few, which was a lot of fun. And it started getting really crowded. You could probably tell from the other shots going off. And then this dude showed up with a 50 cal right next to us. That's not it. But then he was like, yo, man, you want to shoot a round through it? Well, duh.
Don't slap yourself in the head, man. Oh, yeah!
That was the gnarliest handgun I've ever shot. And so then Avery came by and picked me up, and we went to do the show in Lafayette. So we swung by ye old-timey grocery because heard they had a killer Poboy, and it was Friday. We lucked out because that I love Catfish, and they only have Catfish on Fridays because, you know, the Catholics or whatever. And then we did the show.
Your first comedian representing Team Stone all the way from New York City, lives in Brooklyn. Give it up for Trey, Galyon.
What's up, Lafayette? It's my first time here. I got to see the giant crawfish was crawling over the billboard out there on the I-10. There's a man, giant crawfish just crawling over the billboard. And I was high, so it did take a second. Split second, not a long second. It was real quick and like, oh no, that's not real. Okay, so on the count of three, everybody yell out your favorite Boudin place at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Got him. Yeah. I figured this out the other day. Rich people suck. Who's with me? And look, if you're in here tonight and you're like, hey, guy that smells like weed, I'm rich and I take offense to that. Not talking about you, man. Ballroom of the Doubletree in Lafayette on a Friday night. You are not my concern. I'm talking about like that generational, like your family owned people at some point. You've got at least 2 family members covering up a manslaughter. Maybe you've got an uncle that was a little too happy when Jeffrey Epstein was found dead. That's the kind of rich I'm talking about. They got stupid sports, rich people sports, dumb, polo, extension of slavery. Buying a living thing, have it do all the work, you get all the glory. No. Golf? Yeah, golf kind of gets a free pass. At least with golf, you can take mushrooms and wander around the woods with your friends. Right, misfits? Plus, who hasn't snuck onto a golf cart before, right? You can't sneak into a polo match. Gotta buy a horse in the stupid getup. Poor people's sports, way better. Demolition derby, period. End of conversation. Do you guys remember when those rich people died in that submarine and none of us cared? I had one friend, she was like, I felt bad for the 17-year-old because they said he was too afeared to get on it. Well, he got on it, didn't he? Yeah. That's why I don't think we were hearing the whole story on that one. I think that's what they just fed the press, you know? Because you guys, he was there with his dad who bought and sold companies for profit, by the way. So that's why I don't think it went down like that. I think the submarine thing was more like that 17-year-old was standing there and he was like, oh man, we got to go see the Titanic. I thought we were going to go to India and shoot white tigers in the face. And his dad was like, no, that's next week. This week, Titanic. Oh, kick rocks. Plus, that was a classic example of rich people trying to do poor people, but they've never been poor, so they don't understand the parameters. Growing up, there was a bunch of stuff I saw where I was like, oh, that is wicked, but that costs way too much. And so then you go out in the garage or run over to the Home Depot and get some stuff to whip together a go-kart that only turns right, you know, or a potato gun that shoots sideways. Not a submarine that's supposed to go to the bottom of the ocean. Rich people reason for inflation, and that's it. They're the only reason for inflation. Is everybody clear on that? Do you guys understand how inflation works? It's just, all it takes is one rich guy to be like, yo, I'm raising my prices because, I don't know, feel like buying a new island or something. And then the rest of them are like, oh, it's a great idea. We're going to raise our prices too. And then that's inflation. Just rich people that want to be richer. It's that simple. And if you don't think it is, like, remember, okay, during the pandemic, when all these companies got on TV with their advertisements and they were like, yo, man, times are tough, you guys. And so I'm sorry that we have to raise our prices, but we're all in this together, man. And if you looked at the end of the year, all those companies recorded record profits. Look, I've been smoking weed for 30 years. The price of weed has gone up $0. Thank you, stoner crowd.
Jason from the show last night, right? That was his
Jason
name?
and Mindy.
And told us, we asked the best Boudin, and he said chops, specialty meat.
Or Billy's if you want more liver.
Oh yeah, that's right. Billy's if you want more liver,
But we don't want
more
more
liver, so we're going with chops. All right, so Chops didn't have breakfast sandwiches. We loaded up on Boudin. We got a bag of Boudin, but then one of the ladies there said that we met in line said to come to Tons for breakfast. It smells delicious. Well, Tons stopped serving breakfast at 11, and that's not how we roll. Avery found Mel's Diner, and we're going to try Mel's Diner.
Well, best biscuits across from the park.
Oh, and it does say world's best biscuits. Oh. So update on Mel's, not the world's best biscuit, but pretty decent.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And the breakfast was solid. Now we're going to go.
They were so nice.
They were very nice. And one lady was all limping around with the coffee. She was working hard, but we tipped them appropriately. And now we're going to go get more Boudin. Yeah, we did end up at Billy's because Avery's uncle wanted liver. Wanted more liver! Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys.
You guys can go back to being vegetables.
Well, I think we're clean on this one. Yeah, I don't think I lied about anything. If you find a lie, put it in the comments. Let me know. Other than that, we're clean. All right, see you guys next time.